Hello, and what is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and today we are back in Spin Tires after our little break on Sunday. I know I took a little bit of a break. There weren't any videos on Sunday, but the reasoning behind that was there was a lot of stuff outside the channel that I had to get done, and just things that I was like, you know what? It might be a good thing to just take a break for like one day, just one day. And I know I don't normally do that, and I really don't like to do that personally, because I like to record videos for you guys. I like to make sure there's fresh content for you guys on the channel. I like to make sure that there's stuff there for you guys to watch every day. And it's a little bit weird for me to take a day off sometimes, but either way, we're back, and we have a hell of a lineup in today's Spin Tires video. So we have a Koenigsegg Jira R monster truck, or sorry, not a Jira R, 1-to-1 monster truck. We have a McLaren P1 monster truck. We have a Sesto Elemento monster truck, and we have a Flying Lizard Porsche 911 GT3 race car monster truck as well. We've brought them all to a racetrack because why not? And we're going to start off, oh god, we're going to start off in the Koenigsegg because it's a Koenigsegg with a massive suspension and monster tires, so why wouldn't you start off in it? Now, they're not actually as fast as you might think they are. I was a little disappointed when I drove them the first time because I was expecting something absolutely insane and just mental, 100%, you know, I was expecting no reservation at all. Like, it just was 100% foot to the floor the whole time. They're not actually that fast. They're not as fast as, like, the trophy trucks. Not the trophy trucks, the pre-runners. But they are fun. They are a lot of fun, and I feel like they would be so much fun to race online. I am 100% all about getting a race together with some friends and just making a... We could have even like a race series, just monster truck hypercars, and we could have different tracks every time. That would be super fun, actually. That would be awesome. There's a jump on this track that I'm not sure if this is going to be able to make because it's not the fastest thing in the world, and it's not the best at taking jumps either. I mean, the suspension is insanely soft, so it's great at actually taking the jumps themselves and landing them, but the speed isn't that good, so it's not particularly good at actually taking off from the jumps. It actually drags the back wheels on a lot of these little whoop jumps and stuff like that. Let's see if it'll actually make it over this one. Pretty much, mostly made it over. It was like barely there, but it did make it. Now for tracks like this though, this suspension is amazing. I mean, you could see how well it absorbs the bumps and how little the body of the car actually moves around. I mean, it's really well done, actually. Whoever set it up really well. Only thing is, if you get on the power mid-corner, it will torque up the opposite direction that you're wanting to go. Let's turn all-wheel drive off and see what happens. Just because I feel like if we turn all-wheel drive off on a course like this, it might actually work a little bit better. It works a little bit better. So then if I turn all-wheel drive on, you notice a small difference. It plows just a bit more mid-corner with the all-wheel drive on, as you would expect, obviously. But let's see. Oh, can we make it? Not really. It's just so large, and it's so heavy. The vehicle itself is so heavy that it can't really get off the ground, which is a little bit depressing when you drive it, because you're like, oh, it's a monster truck, it should jump, and it does, but not enough. Not enough for my personal taste, anyway. It does do wheelies, though, which is more than okay with me. God, just lock everything. God, I wonder how this would do up the Bolivian death road. Oh god, there's a video. I just feel like with a little bit more power, maybe a few more gears in the gearbox, this thing would be such a monster. It would be like, holy crap to drive. Like, it would be absolutely insane. And it's got somewhat of an interior view. Not much, though. And now we're going to stop and stand it up on its nose and switch to the McLaren P1. The weird thing is that they messed up the naming, and the McLaren, there's a name, it's a McLaren P1 Monster, and it's actually the Koenigsegg, so I have no idea what went wrong there, but the weird thing is, the P1 monster truck only has the option to turn the diff lock on and off. And it's definitely faster than the Koenigsegg. We're going to leave the diff lock off, actually, because with the diff lock off, it pretty much gets rid of that entire understeering problem, which is awesome. Considering the fact that you can actually slide the tail end around. And, I mean, being able to slide the tail end around in any monster truck is fun. But being able to actually use it to your advantage, like on a track, is really quite hilarious. And it's super amusing. Dude! We literally just drug the rear bumper on a flat-out wheelie. That's awesome. If you guys have watched the latest episode of Roadkill, we just went full Stubby Bob. I'm excited to see how the Lamborghini does, the Sesto Elemento. Did I say it was the Egoista earlier? I hope not. No, it was the Sesto Elemento. God, I just gave something away that I probably shouldn't have given away, but it's okay. Don't worry about it. God, it loads up in the corners, though. Like, the suspension really loads up on that inside edge. You just got to find the right time to get on the power to make sure you don't understeer. Because if you can get rid of the understeer, you're fine. But if you get into an understeery situation, these things have really, really bad understeer. Like, I mean, it's a pretty bad time. The nice thing is that they each drive a little bit differently. They're not copy-pasted. They don't, at least they don't feel that way. They don't feel like they copy-pasted the same exact setup and the same tune onto each car, which is surprising because on, like, you know, novelty cars like these, it's usually a copy-pasted setup. It's usually never a setup that they spent much time on, whereas these, it's actually not bad. It actually feels like they went into each one and didn't, you know, they didn't spend a year setting it up, but at the same time, they didn't just copy-paste one onto the other either. So I'm actually quite happy with how they turned out. Again, considering that the fact that they're pretty much like toy RC cars, they drive really damn well. They're better for wider tracks, though, obviously, just because of that slight understeer problem. And the fact that this McLaren P1 is apparently diesel swapped. Put a 12 valve in it. It'll run good. Sorry to any Cummins fans out there or 12 valve owners. I love 12 valve trucks. I love them. They're awesome. But you got to be able to play around with that community every once in a while. Come on! Nearly back. We're going to save the Porsche for last. We're going to drive the Sesto Elemento next and save the Porsche for last, because the Porsche, I've driven it a little bit, and it's a bit different. I feel like it might be slightly faster, but we'll have to wait and see. God, just look how well the suspension handles those bumps. It's awesome. Wonder if we can... Hello! Oh, God, we've just killed the frame rate. The game was like, I don't like this! Now, Sesto Elemento time. Okay, this is also a diff lock only car. This feels maybe a tiny bit faster than the McLaren. Not much. Definitely faster than the Koenigsegg. Not much faster than the McLaren, but still maybe a little bit. Feels like it might be better in the corners, actually. I don't know. I'll have to get used to it. I'll have to actually, like, take it for a lap and get used to it first. But it feels like it may be. Oh, yeah. Actually, no. Now, after that, I know it is. I know it's faster in the corners. And who knows? These, like, the way that I'm feeling these are all slightly different. They might all be the same setup. I feel like they might all be the same setup, but... God, the differences are so... They're so small, but you can definitely feel like they're there. So I'm kind of like going back and forth on, like, is it just me or are they actually different? I can't tell. Normally I can tell, but these are so close together as far as the way they perform that it's really hard to tell. I don't know, maybe less understeer than the McLaren? Maybe. That's a big maybe. I don't know if that's true or not, but... Yeah, well, no, you know what? After a few corners, it does feel like it has less understeer. How's the... Oh, God! You know, that's actually not badly rendered. If they could get the camera in the right spot, that's not a badly rendered interior. It's really not. Especially for spin tires standards. If you guys have been around the modding community for any period of time and have seen some of the interior cams, you'll know that that is pretty decently rendered. Take the jump. These jumps are more like mini wheelies than anything else. Go back on course. Oh God, I've messed up. I went to like, I don't know, there was something weird on my screen or something, and I went to look at it. I was like, what is that? And then like all of a sudden that we were off on the side of the road, side of the track. And straight into what looks like a dead pine tree. That's never good, crashing into a dead pine tree, or a living pine tree for that matter. Oh, this one handles great. In comparative terms, this one handles great. If I can run the outside edge closer to that wall. Actually, I'll tell you what. Run right up on the edge. Didn't do that all too badly. These might actually be decent at, like, wall rides. Hello, wheelie. Oh, God. Alright, come on. Jeez! Oh my God! First one to flip over. I mean, we're not that far from the finish. We got like two more corners, but we'll switch to the Porsche. But holy crap! That's the first one to flip over outside of nose diving under braking. We'll leave the diff lock off in this one. Oh, there we go. It definitely gets up to speed. This is faster than the... Oh yeah, faster than the Lamborghini for sure. I definitely know now that these aren't the same tune, or they don't feel like the same tune anyway. I mean, the top speeds feel similar, but this one feels like it gets off the line a hell of a lot faster. Should have a drag race with all of them. Just, like, get 4 people, have a big drag race, and actually see. Whoa! Come on! No! It's stuck! It's stuck! Literally did not do anything. It's stuck completely. That's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. I mean, we're right around the corner from the start line. I'm going to rescue it because I feel cheated on that one. That just felt bad. I was trying to shift it up, and it wouldn't let me move the gear stick. God, I wish you could actually use that sequential gearbox. Like, wop, bop, bop. I love sequential gearboxes, man. Sequential gearboxes are like... Dude, sequential gearboxes are like the absolute... They're like the thing to have. I think, anyway. I think they're really cool. I don't think they'd be the coolest thing to have in a street car because you'd probably... I don't know. You'd probably want to... You'd probably want to kill every Pokemon in your Pokemon Go collection, but I don't know, just I feel like they'd be a hassle driving around on the street. But, man, out on a racetrack, oh my God, they are so awesome. They are so legit. I mean, obviously they are because that's what they were made for, but still. Thus we rejoin the track and rejoin the action. I would definitely say that if and when we do the race, well, not if and when we do the race, I'm grabbing the Porsche because I think the Porsche drives the best. Again, that could just be me thinking like, oh, it's a Porsche, and then it's like, oh, it's optical illusion, it drives better than everything else. But, I don't know, I would still pick the Porsche just because I feel like, from my experience, I think the Porsche would be the best around a, like, in an actual race. Whoop! Again, handles the bumps so nicely, though. The suspension is great. It really is great. Oh, God. We've gone slightly off course. Come on. Get it. There, now it let me shift up at a high. Only problem is high slows us down because high should be like, because these max out in 4th gear. There should be like a 5th gear, maybe even a 6th gear. But like I personally feel like high should always be faster. But at the same time, I could see where you'd use it. Like if you're using it in a crawler, maybe not. But if you're using something like this, high should just be like stupid fast. I think we're coming up on the crashed Sesto Elemento monster truck. Should be, yeah, it's right up around this corner. Get that diff lock on. Hello. Oh, don't you dare. Okay. Woo! Freaking saved it. Oh my God. Okay. That was ridiculous. That was like, this thing just did a full-on cartwheel, dude. I'm not... Wow. And I will be the first to say, I'm not the one that caught that. The car was just like, I'm gonna do this, and then land on my wheels and keep going. I just mashed the throttle and hoped for the best. Because you can't really counter steer when your car is cartwheeling. But I definitely agree with these cars. I think they're awesome, and I would definitely use them again. Hashtag, it's a Porsche monster truck flexing Jeep thing caught inside another car's suspension. Anyway, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that like button. Tell me in the comment section down below what you guys thought of it. And if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe for more. And I will see you guys in the next one. Talk to you guys later, and hope you guys enjoyed.